Hello, everyone. Angel Miele here. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a topic that is kind of taboo, a very sticky topic, a topic that sometimes comes with some shame, and that is depression. And the reason I felt I needed to do this video and it be the first video that I post on my health and fitness page is because mental health is going to be so crucial in your fitness journey. It actually is, it needs to be first and foremost something that we need to tackle before you can have any success in your fitness journey. You can continue to be on yo-yo diets and constantly on that wheel to be successful in your fitness and physical journey. But until you get things right physically, and I will say, I'm home. Most of my videos, my daughter will be in the vicinity, and that's her. So you might need to get used to that. Anyways, depression. I've realized that a lot of people don't even realize that they are suffering from depression, that they have symptoms of depression. I really didn't recognize it at the time either. But as I fought it, I realized, there are definitely symptoms of depression that you need to look for, that you need to be aware of. And so this video is about me and the 5 steps I took to beat depression. But first, I want to talk about the symptoms of depression because you may not be aware of them. You may be feeling them, you may be living them, but you may not be aware that what you're doing, what's happening to you, is that you're suffering from depression. So, some symptoms of depression is sadness, crying, loss of interest and motivation in certain things, especially things that you used to always be interested in. Sleep issues, insomnia, change in appetite. That could be weight gain or weight loss. It affects people differently. Some people stress eat. Some people don't eat when they're stressed or don't eat when they're depressed. Energy levels. That's a huge one. I hear constantly, Angel, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. No matter what I do, I'm always tired. That's a huge symptom of depression. Anxiety. Not being able to concentrate, not being able to stay focused on one thing because your mind is just going in so many different directions that you can't actually concentrate on one thing or stay focused on one thing. Mood swings, up and down, happy, sad. 1 minute you're just loving life, the next minute you hate your life. So mood swings are a big part of depression or a symptom of depression also. And then the feeling of guilt, not being good enough. Not being a good enough parent, not being a good enough wife, just overall guilt. So all of these are symptoms of depression. So if you're feeling some of these things or all of these things, I would encourage you to really dig deep and ask yourself, am I really suffering from depression? And so then I'm going to get to the 5 steps that I took to battle my depression. Now, I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist. I am just living proof that you can fight depression and you can beat it. And these are the 5 steps that I took to beat my depression that I want to share with you. So the first thing that I did was I identified what was making me depressed. Seems easy, but it wasn't. So here were the things that I identified and determined that I was depressed or why I was depressed. I had absolutely no sense of purpose, none at all. I felt like I had no life outside of taking care of other people, doing for everybody else. I had given up on any hobbies that I enjoyed. I used to love painting. I stopped painting. I used to, have girlfriends that I would go out with for girls' night. I started to just not even want to socialize. I kind of shut down and shut out a lot of people because I was stuck in my depression and just really didn't want to face people or be around people. I just kind of wanted to hide in my own little shell. So I felt like I had absolutely no purpose. So that was the one thing. And then I had no drive. I had no energy. I had no motivation. Of course, I was always tired. And I just felt completely useless in my day. Even though I just did so much all day long, I was going, taking care of everybody else. I personally didn't feel like I had a purpose, and I was so tired of being tired. No matter what I did, I could not get up my energy levels. And that's what happens when you're depressed. I also was, of course, insecure because I was overweight and I hated my body. I was out of shape. I, hid from my husband in the bathroom, always stayed covered up. I always had a cover up on. We have a pool at home. I always had my cover up on. I, hated clothes shopping, which was really, really different for me considering I love to shop and I always love to be able to buy myself new clothes and wear nice things. But I actually stopped shopping for a while because I avoided the dressing room so much. I just did not want to try on clothes. So I stopped shopping. Another thing that was making me depressed was I started to have marriage issues because we kind of let our marriage kind of go on autopilot a little bit, just kind of got really comfortable, just kind of stopped putting in effort for a little bit, mainly because I just was tired and exhausted all the time and in a bad mood, or had different mood swings, or I was sad, or I resented him because I felt like he actually had a life, he had a purpose, he was outside of the home, he was doing things, he was socializing with people. So that part of it started to cause a lot of issues in our marriage, which made my depression even worse because, again, I started blaming myself. It's a vicious cycle. So that's the first step, is to identify what is making you depressed. Not going to be easy, but there are things if you're depressed, there are things that are making you depressed. So you have to first identify what's making you depressed. Secondly, you have to tackle everything in step one. I know that sounds undoable, hard, but that is the truth. That's exactly what I had to do. I had to identify every single thing in my life that was making me depressed, and I had to tackle each one by one, step by step. So number 2 is going to be crucial, and of course we'll work a lot on that. But number 3, eliminate the negative and toxic people and things in your life. So that's huge too, because if you're already depressed, if you're already stressed, if you're already having, if you're already negative and moody and just sad, you don't need those types of people in your life that are also negative and moody and judgmental. Anybody that's going to bring you down and not lift you up, anybody that's not going to be supportive of you, anybody that doesn't bring joy to your life, anybody that doesn't bring the same amount of love, compassion, understanding, or friendship to the table, you need to eliminate those toxic, unhealthy people in your life. Step 3 was very hard for me to do in a lot of ways, but necessary, because some of those people could be family members, they could be longtime friends, they could be children, they could be relatives, they could be colleagues, they could be anybody. But if they're toxic in your life and they're negative and they're bringing you down, they need to go. So that's number 3. Eliminate negative and toxic people and things in your life. Number 4, I had to put myself first. So how I did that was I invested in myself. I invested, of course, in my workout program and my new eating habits and healthy, clean living. I had to invest in that. I also had to, well, this is a tough one, but I had to do a mandatory me day. it wasn't really tough. It was just, it had to become a non-negotiable. And I have lots of things and factors in my life that would prevent me from having a mandatory me day. But it was so, so crucial. I had to have an outlet. I had to have a mental outlet. I had to have me time. I had to get away from all of the stressors in my day, the depression of Rett syndrome that my daughter suffers from. Caring for a sick child 24/7 could really wear on your mind, wear on your heart. So I had to figure out a way, I'll say, to escape that, even if it was for an hour or 4 hours. Not escaping her or the love I have for her, just the stress that comes with being a special needs parent. I had to make it a non-negotiable. It had to be an effort that my husband and I both made to be able to allow me to do that. Once a week, I have a me day. Now, I don't know how feasible that is for you. I don't know if you think a me day has to be a full day at the spa, spending hundreds of dollars. It doesn't. It could be an hour at a park, reading a book, an hour sitting at Starbucks, having lunch by yourself, having a nice meal by yourself without distractions. Anything that's going to allow you to care for you, to take time for you, is what you need to make a non-negotiable in your life. So that is step number 4 that I did. Step number 5 kind of goes along with step number 4, which was investing in myself, putting myself first. So I, of course, invested in a workout program. I made it, again, a non-negotiable to have that time to work out and work on myself because I had issues with how I looked. I hated how I looked. I hated how I fitted in my clothes. I knew I had to make that change, but I had to put action behind my wants. Wanting it wasn't going to be enough. I had to do something about it. So I decided to make a life change, and I invested in a workout program. I invested in my meal plans. I invested in time for myself to get out there and do my workouts. And I also became part of support groups with other women, other mothers like me that were dealing with the same issues I was dealing with, that was on the same journey as me, that understood me. And that makes a huge, huge difference, to surround yourself with people of like mind that can relate to you, that know exactly what you're going through and exactly how you feel. There's so much power in having support. So I just wanted to do this video today because it's very personal for me. I'm very passionate about it, and I know from experience that until we get right mentally and emotionally, our physical journey will never be successful. We'll never truly get the results we want physically in our fitness life if we don't work on ourselves mentally. And so depression is a huge, huge thing. It's real. It affects a lot of people. And so if you can, figure out what is making you depressed, identify those things. First of all, come to terms with and recognize the symptoms of depression. Identify what is making you depressed. And then, even if, like what I did, I actually wrote down a list of the things that make me sad, upset, things in my life that I needed to change. That's the first step. So then the second step is tackling step 1, one by one. Now, some things could take a day to just change because it's that easy. Some things might take more work, more time to change, but you have to tackle all of the things one by one that are making you depressed. Number 3 is eliminating the toxic and negative people in your life. Number 4 is deciding to put yourself first. You cannot be any good to anybody else if you are unhealthy, if you are not fit, if you're not healthy up here. And number 5, invest in yourself. Invest in your health. Listen, I can give you a lot of free advice, free tips, recipes, tips on fitness and workout routines, and I'm going to help you with all that. But there's going to be some things that you absolutely have to do yourself, and that is investing in some things for your health. I had to invest in some meal plans and some good workout routines and, that superfood meal replacement shake. Those are just little tiny things that I had to invest in that I knew would help me in my journey. They're tools, they're resources. Is it going to fix everything in your life? No. But it's a step, it's a start, because you have to have a clear-cut plan as to how you're going to go through this journey. One day at a time, 1 week at a time, one goal at a time. So you do need some help. Not everybody knows exactly what to do. Not everybody knows exactly what to eat. People need help. So you do have to invest a little bit of money and a lot of time to make change. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I am always available to talk to you. If you are battling depression, if you don't really know if you have the symptoms or the signs, message me, let's chat. If you need help identifying your depression and tackling those things, comment, message me. I'm here to help. I know exactly what you're going through, and it's something that you absolutely can fight. Depression does not have to be a life sentence, and not everybody needs to be on medication. I will say that. Some people do, and I'm not saying anything bad about that, or people that need that help, but I do feel like there are certain things that you can do in your life on your own that can help you fight depression. So I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you and being a positive influence in your life. Have a happy day.